blink of an eye ago, it would have been considered extraordinary to be having a debate about whether staff changing rooms in the NHS should be mixed-sex spaces. Many have been unaware of the challenges, including legal challenges, currently taking place within our health system regarding staff single-sex spaces, and we're talking about staff with regard to the Supreme Court case. And I'm grateful to my noble friend for bringing this debate. As others have said, the Workplace Health, Safety and Welfare Regulations 1992 mandate employers to provide separate facilities for men and women, including changing rooms, for reasons of propriety. These rules and the Equality Act have been misinterpreted by the NHS, particularly affecting female employees who make up approximately 76% of NHS staff in England. The situation has been confused by NHS Confederation guidance, which says, I quote, "In all types of workplaces, trans and non-binary people should be supported to use bathrooms they feel most comfortable using. At no time is it appropriate to force staff to use the toilet associated with their assigned sex at birth against their will. Incidentally, as language matters, sex is not assigned at birth, it is observed or registered. It is not a choice." The guidance also tells management, senior healthcare leaders and HR directors to take a zero-tolerance attitude to transphobia. And it is this approach which has led to NHS staff facing workplace discipline for asserting their basic rights to privacy and dignity and to single-sex facilities at work. The case of Sandy Peggy mentioned before, although in Scotland, is particularly egregious. A nurse with a 30-year unblemished record, suspended by NHS 5 after complaining about having to share a changing room with a trans woman. The case continues, but with a budget black hole of £30 million and at a cost the tribunal, which must run into hundreds of thousands, NHS 5 should surely now accept that NHS staff, like Nurse Peggy, deserve privacy, dignity and safety, which the original regulations and the Supreme Court judgment have now clarified, as it applies to workplaces. In Darlington, nurses were forced to share the women's changing room with a male nurse who identifies as a woman. And how astonishing to hear that when they raised their concerns, the Darlington nurses were told to be educated and broaden their mindset. This focus has meant that sexual harassment in the workplace has been ignored. Managers are no longer offered training on the issues of abuse, which women have traditionally experienced in the workplace. Female staff are leaving as a result, as their concerns, including bullying and intimidation, are no longer taken seriously. The current guidance encourages NHS employers to uphold policies that create an intimidating, hostile and difficult environment for staff who do not wish to share single-sex spaces with members of the opposite sex. May I ask the Noble Lord the Minister to join with Sex Matters, who've written to the Chief Exec of the NHS Confederation, in urging them that their current guidance is unlawful and should be withdrawn as a matter of urgency.